and one of our guest speakers. Also, we have Dr. Silas Anan-Kakabaah. He is the resident family physician and also a guest speaker. We have our very own founder, Engineer Henry Entry. And also, last but not least, we have Mr. George Akrobila Asongo. He's the AusIMM International Representative, Ghana. Now, we can start today's program with a welcome address from our Vice President, Mr. Edward Okori-Bamfo. Mr. Edward, you are welcome.
All right, thank you, Meredith. Good afternoon, esteemed chairperson, distinguished speakers, and all participants joining us today. On behalf of AusIMM Tarkwa Student Chapter, I want to welcome you to today's webinar series. Today's series is in two folds, where we would induct our newly admitted members and launch the AusIMM UENR branch of this noble student professional body. I would like to take this opportunity to inform all UENR members about the future visit to your campus by the founder, the international representative, and the president, as part of effort to fully establish the UENR branch and create valuable networking opportunities. The second section will feature keynote speakers who would address two very important topics in the mining value chain. The first is in the mining value chain, career opportunities beyond the classroom. The second is your health is your capital, preparing for a productive career life. As part of our continuous learning initiatives through the workshop series starting today, I would like to emphasize the importance of this well-created program, which seeks to, one, enhance knowledge and skills in sustainable mining practices, two, foster collaboration among stakeholders, three, promote responsible mining, and four, support the development of future mining professionals. We encourage members to invite non-members to join this workshop series that will be kickstarting in the month of November, so that together we can transform the landscape of our industry through collaborative efforts and knowledge sharing, especially in this emerging phase of sustainable mining practices, which cuts across both the large scale and small scale mining industry. For further information, kindly check out updates on our newly launched WhatsApp channel. So we admonish that members follow the channel to follow the updates about the channel. With that said, once again, thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Let us engage, learn, and continue to build ourselves as the next generation of mining professionals. Think professional development, take AusIMM. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edward, for the warm welcome. There's a lot of things ahead in this program. The next thing on our outline is the first session of this program, and which is the induction and launching of the UENR branch. To begin with the admission procedure, we'll call on Ms. Dorothy Boateng. She's the admission committee head. Ms. Dorothy, the floor is yours. Ms. Dorothy, please, can you hear me? Okay, it's as if we don't have Ms. Dorothy in our midst.
All right,
at the moment.
I think please, she's on the line, but I think maybe she's having a networking challenge. So I'll step in for her. So
okay,
it is an honor as the head standing in for Dorothy of the admission committee to present you our process for the admission into the AusIMM. First of all, application was open for interested members from the University of Energy and Natural Resources to join the chapter. 70% of those who expressed interest and met the admission criteria were selected after a thorough review of their application and undergoing an interview process. So the interview constituted the admission body, which I chaired, and we went through the process of interviewing our members. That's what passed the screening phase. Now, during the interview, each applicant was assessed and graded by every member of the four-member committee based on their competence and their ability to answer questions. This thorough process ensured that we admitted students who align to the goals of Tarkwa Student Chapter, since their admission process is being sponsored. By upholding these rigorous standards, we cultivate a community of like-minded professionals who are poised to make a lasting impact in their field. I congratulate our new members from UNED and encourage you to participate in the chapter's activity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okorie, for stepping in for us. Please, to avoid distraction, kindly ensure that your microphones are muted. Thank you. Next, we'll move on to the induction of newly admitted members and the launching of the AusIMM UNED branch, to be led by Mr. Mahmoud Baba Yakubu. He's the president of the AusIMM Tarkwa Students Chapter. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Good day, distinguished guests, lecturers, fellow students, and all members present. It's a pleasure to welcome you to this presentation on the Australasian Institute of Mining and Metallurgy, Tarkwa Student Chapter, proudly known as AusIMM Tarkwa. Today, I'll be walking you through our history, structure, membership, and the many opportunities we offer to support student growth in the extractive industry. Here's a quick overview of what we'll cover today. We'll begin with an introduction to AusIMM, followed by the history of our Tarkwa chapter, management structure, membership and its benefits, chapter activities, and finally the rules that guide our operations before concluding. The Australasian Institute of Mining and Metallurgy is a professional body based in Australia that provides education, mentorship, and professional development opportunities to people in the mining and metallurgy industries. It currently has 15 student chapters globally, with our Tarkwa student chapter being the only one in Africa, a milestone we are extremely proud of. Our aim is to help students bridge the gap between academia and industry by creating access to global resources and mentorship. The Tarkwa student chapter was founded by Engineer Henry Entry, and it was officially inaugurated on September 28, 2015. In 2024, the University branch was formally registered, expanding our reach to more Ghanaian universities. The chapter is recognized by the AusIMM head office in Australia and was made possible through the sponsorship and guidance of Engineer Henry Entry and Dr. Kwesi Ampofo, two key figures whose commitment to education and industry development continues to inspire us. Our management structures include the founder, Engineer Henry Entry, the international representative, Mr. George Akurubila Asungu, our patron, Dr. Clement Kweku Ata, and branch patron, Emmanuel Jikunu. Oh, kindly mute yourself. As well as our dedicated executives and committee heads. Each of these individuals play a unique role in ensuring that our chapter functions effectively, from coordinating events and partnerships to supporting student initiatives across different institutions. Our current executive team is made up of Mahmoud Baba Yakubu, myself, the president, Okorie for Edward, the vice president, the general secretary, Abdulmumin Abdullah, the financial secretary, JC Edwin, our PRO, Nana Amankwa Okran, SRD coordinator, Abdul Rashid Clinton, KNUST coordinator. Then we have a team of dedicated committee heads who are helping our administration. Currently, Dorothy Boateng is taking charge of the admission committee, whilst Benedict Kwesi Boateng is on special projects assigned by the founder. Our membership is made up of students pursuing courses in the extractive industry, related programs in UMAT, KNUST, UDS, University of Ghana, and University of Energy and Natural Resources. We also have international members from other African countries, emphasizing the chapter's diversity and inclusiveness. Becoming a member of AusIMM Tarkwa comes with several professional advantages. Discount on AusIMM courses and conferences, free access to the one-man library and AusIMM publications, mentorship programs from experienced professionals, scholarships, webinars, and technical seminars, field trips to major mining companies, and exciting networking events, as well as fun games that foster collaboration among members. Say to Clifford and Don Richmond for their outstanding research contributions. Other chapters activities, week celebrations and AusIMM nights, technical tutorials, and mentorship sessions. These activities ensure that our members do not gain academic knowledge, but also stay updated on real-world industry trends. To maintain professionalism and discipline, the chapter enforces clear rules. Members are prohibited from sending irrelevant messages to our official platforms. Mem is known for globally. In conclusion, AusIMM does not directly offer internships or jobs. Instead, we focus on creating pathways and connections that help our members reach such opportunities. Through mentorship, networking, and professional development, we ensure that our members are well prepared for successful careers in the mining and metallurgy industry. To all new members, we say think professional development, think AusIMM. Thank you all for your time and a warm welcome once again to every new member here.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for the induction and successful launch. Welcome to all newly admitted members. We will now take an acceptance speech from Mr. Pascal Eliklim, a member of AusIMM Tarkwa Student Chapter from UENR. Mr. Pascal, let's hear you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pascal Eliklim, and I'll be delivering the acceptance speech. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, the leadership of the AusIMM Tarkwa Students Chapter, and all participants present. It is a very big honor to stand here on behalf of the University of Energy and Natural Resources to formally accept our onboarding into the AusIMM Students Chapter. This incident not only signifies a turning point for our institution, but also the commencement of a new era of professional growth, collaboration, and excellence in the mining and resources sector. We are highly thankful for the leadership of Tarkwa. We are highly thankful for the leadership of the Tarkwa chapter, particularly Engineer Henry Entry, the chapter's founder, for his constant support and faith in our ambition to be part of this professional community. Your unwavering commitment in nurturing young talent and establishing opportunities for students all over the country is a strong indication of your dedication to the progress in the mining profession. To our gracious souls, Mr. Mahmoud Bawa Yakubu, and the entire executive team, we are thankful for your transparency and support during the whole process. Your mentorship and organization have turned this partnership into a reality. To my colleagues at UNER, this induction signifies a call to duty. It beckons us to adhere to the high standards of professionalism, ethics, and continuous learning that AusIMM represents. Let us utilize this network, learn, and make meaningful contributions to the sustainable growth of the mining and resources sector. On behalf of UNER, I pledge to the Tarkwa chapter and the wider AusIMM community our commitment to being active participants, excellence, and collaboration. United, we will construct a robust link between an academic world and the industry, thus readying ourselves to be the next generation of responsible and innovative professionals. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Pascal, for your remarks. Welcome once again to all our UNER members. We hope you enjoy your stay with us. We'll now proceed to the presentation session of our program. And once again, I would like to introduce our chairperson, Mr. Eric Esubontin. He's the CEO of A4 Mining Services. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. We will call on Mr. Esubontin to kindly give us his chairperson's remarks.
Thank you very much, moderator, and I hope you can hear me loud and clear. And good afternoon to all participants on the call. I'll start by thanking the founder, who is a good friend of mine as well, Engineer Henry Entry, as well as the executives of AusIMM for the opportunity to chair this program. I'm glad to be participating in an event like this that in general relates to the career development of the young ones and the youth coming up in the industry. A brief background about myself. I'm the founder and CEO of A4 Mining Services Company. It's a company that provides mining services to the established miners. So we don't do mining ourselves, but we provide services across the mining value chain, from drill blast through to load and haul, as well as civils, construction, procurement, supply of inputs, and stuff like that. A4 Mining Services is a member of the EKA Group. The group company owns not only A4 Mining Services, but also A4 Properties, Prestige A4 Properties, which is into real estate, Prestige Hostels, which provides students hosteling facilities, with one in Kumasi near KNUST and another coming up at Legon as we speak, as well as an event center called the Function Junction that operates in Accra. Even though I'm the founder and CEO of these companies or the group, I've only embarked on my entrepreneurship journey full-time only recently, literally since June of this year. Other than that, in my previous life, I worked in the corporate world. My last role was as Senior Vice President for African Non-Operated Joint Ventures for AngloGold Ashanti. Before then, I had worked as the Managing Director of the Obuasi mine for about 8 years. Before my time in AngloGold Ashanti, I spent almost 10 years with Goldfields, Ghana. Thank you for muting, moderator. So, before my time with AngloGold Ashanti, I spent about 10 years with Goldfields, working on mines like Tarkwa, a short spell in the Daman mine, as well as the Accra office, and in one of their mines in Western Australia. During my time as managing director of the AusIMM mine, I did get the opportunity to also serve as the president of the Ghana Chamber of Mines for about 4 years. My motivation to move into entrepreneurship and to try to set up my own business is in fulfillment of a lifelong dream of being able to build a respected business from scratch. But one of the other things that has motivated me to want to do that is the fact that I'm able to create in that process an opportunity for the youth and the upcoming graduates. I mean, whilst I worked as in the corporate world, constantly there are smart young people, men and women, coming up through the industry and wanting jobs. Smart people who are willing to work hard, but the opportunities just don't exist. And as you work in the corporate world, there's only so much you can do. So I just thought if I'm able to create some of these job opportunities myself, it will be great in providing a stepping stone to get the young and upcoming ones onto the career ladder and to be able to make something out of their lives, particularly the smart ones that are serious, willing to work hard. And so these are some of the factors that have been driving me to embark on this journey. I wouldn't be able to have this conversation or make these brief remarks without chipping in a brief word of motivation to the young upcoming ones on this call. I think I always say fortune favors the bold. So in whatever you are doing as you start to build your careers, be bold and be courageous and be daring enough. Without doing that, you'd always be going after mediocre goals. And if you go after mediocre goals, you get mediocre results. So be courageous and be bold enough. You can only do some of these things when you are young because you have time on your side. It helps. Even when you don't succeed, you learn from your mistakes and you move on. Mistakes at times are very necessary. I think my humble experience in the industry, which I've been in for about 22 years, is something that you can reference by the mere fact that even though I've worked in the mining industry and risen to even be the president of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, I'm not even a miner. I didn't study mining engineering. I didn't attend UMAT or did any of the science courses. I'm an accountant who happened to have had my first job opportunity in the mining industry. So if somebody like me can come into an industry that I don't have a solid background in technically, and can rise through the ranks and be able to do what I'm doing now, then you can imagine you having the technical training and all that can do even far more than anything some of us have been able to achieve. Also, being able to deciding that I would move away from the secured monthly pays or salary and move out of the corporate world to set up my own business requires some level of courage. And I'll say if I can do that again, you can do more than that. You have all the time ahead of you in your careers to be able to embark on some of these courageous moves. And as you do that and as you embark on your careers, please don't shy away from being able to, or shy away from setting up your own businesses as well. Ultimately, in my view at least, I think that's one of the most fulfilling ways of creating value and being able to help our communities and our country develop. So much opportunity in a country like Ghana when a lot of things haven't been done yet. A lot of challenges exist, and every challenge is an opportunity to an entrepreneur if you look at it through the right lens. So by all means, go out there, make mistakes, learn from them, but don't shy away from being bold and courageous and be daring in whatever you want to do. On this note, I do accept the opportunity to chair this program, and I look forward to a successful presentation by our two resource persons. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Subontin, for those encouraging and insightful remarks. And thank you for the motivation to lead the young ones as well. Up next, we have our first presentation on the topic engineering roles in the mining value chain, career opportunities beyond the classroom. And it is to be delivered by Miss Veronica Kwofie. She's the Deputy Transportation Manager, Consolidated Shipping Agencies. Miss Veronica, we are all ears.
Thank you very much, Meredith. Please, are you able to see me?
Yes, please, we can see you and we can hear you as well.
Thank you very much. I'm trying to share my PowerPoint. Okay. Thank you. Please, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, please, we can see.
Thank you very much. Good evening once again. I would like to say thank you for this opportunity to speak this evening to this wonderful youth. Actually, I think all that I have to say or bring across our chair has already done justice to most of them, but once I have to present, I'll say what I have to. I'm very honored to be part of today's occasion and privileged to be speaking on the topic engineering roles in the mining value chain, career opportunities beyond classroom. So basically, most of us here are all engineers. So as our chair said, the goal or the aim here is that we will all come out of school and then be doing something out of school. That's either you work in the corporate area or you are doing your own business. So we are going to look at how the different roles or different engineering disciplines fit into the mining value chain and how we can position ourselves so that we will get rewarding careers in the mining and then the resource sectors. So basically, that's what we are going to do this evening. And I hope that we will all study something together at the end of the day and we take something home. So just a little bit of the overview for the mining value chain. We know that in mining, the entire process is a complete system. There are a lot of processes that it comes together before we achieve what we are looking at. That's the end products of the mines, that the type of mineral you are looking at. It goes through a lot of processes. And here, before you are able to even continue the processes where you find yourself, the first step is to acquire a license. Okay, so once you have a license to undertake your operations or mining activities, then you can go ahead with the rest of the processes or the stages. So once you are being licensed to operate or to undertake other mining activities, being gold, bauxite, diamond, whichever minerals that you're supposed to mine, you require a license. So after the acquisition, we are looking at the mineral exploration stage. And this one, I'm going to talk in relation to gold because most of us are okay with the gold manufacturing or gold processing. So I'll use gold mineral as an example to speak about this mining stages that we have this evening. So during the exploration stage, we are looking at the research and then the survey that will go into the land that has been acquired to be mined. And so we are searching and researching or surveying to find out where mining or minerals deposits will be located for the mining team to also be able to mine the ore that you are looking out for. So once that is done, you look at feasibility study and then design. Here, what we are trying to do is that once it has been identified that we are having a deposit in this a certain consignment, feasibility study is supposed to be done to further know what type or what method of mining you are going to use. We have the surface mines and then the underground mines. So during these stages, all these things are factored into the process so that you will know the type of the method in which you are supposed to mine. And then the development and then the extraction here. This one, we will say that it solely encompasses the mining operations. Okay. So here it's entailed, that's where all the mining operation, we say the heart of the mining processes is found. So starting from the mine site clearing and then to the drilling and blasting. Once the drilling and blasting is done, then there is a load and haul that is being undertaken from this side. And once the ore has been hauled, then they send it going forward to the processing stage. At the processing, what we are looking at is converting the entire raw material to the refined product that we are looking at. If it is gold, we are looking at getting gold at the end of the process or the chain. So in the processing, you see crushing and grinding stage. We also have the leaching, where the ore, after being ground to the sizes that are needed to go through the leaching process that's been dissolved, then it goes through the elution. We derive or extract the gold at the processing stage. Now, after the processing is being completed or is full, what we are looking at, turning the final products or the gold. Let's say if it is gold, we have achieved gold. Now we need to make it readily available to the market. That's where it will be used for the other things that they are needed for them to use. So in this stage, the products or refined products out into the market for people. Logistics is also needed at every stage. It's not only... Hello? Please, am I being lost or you can hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, please, we can hear.
Sure, my internet was bad. So I was saying that the logistics stage, we need it across all the stages. It's equally important, just as safety is important in the mining industry. So from exploration to the processing, before even the transportation of the gold or any mineral itself, logistics will be needed at every point because you need trucks, you will need equipment, machines and all that, and you will need them to be brought to the various sections before they will be able to utilize it for their use. So logistics is needed in this part, not only in the transportation of the gold or the manganese or the bauxite, but you need it in every stage. So equally, even though it's positioned in the processing stage, it's cut across through all the processes. And finally, we look at rehabilitation and sustainability. Here, what are we looking at? We are looking at the land or areas that are no longer needed for the mining, and then we reclaim it. So the aim or the importance of this is just to restore the degraded land to stable and then beneficial use. Like if you cannot do anything better to what you came to meet, you must as well left it as it is so that in the future it doesn't create any issues for users. It can be used for other purposes, even when you want to reuse for the mining. So today, as the topic says, in all these processes, what are we looking at? We as engineers, where are we fitting in, or where do we fit in as engineers? I mean, I would say that we play critical role in every stage that we have listed so far. Every stage, no matter the discipline that you are studying currently. As our chairman even said, people from different backgrounds even fit into the mining value chain. So we engineers, we come together to make mining more safe, more efficient, and then sustainable with our technical expertise. So we are needed, or we are critical in the entire mining value chain. As every stage in the process or the mining stage, there will be a requirement or engineer discipline needed at that stage. We can actually have more than one or two of the disciplines in the various sections. Okay, so maybe you might not be seeing your discipline as it is showing, but mind you that it doesn't matter what you are reading currently. At every point in time, there's a need for all the various engineering disciplines to come together to achieve that stage. So when you look at the exploration, that's the very first stage. When a mines commence, we will have a group of engineers that they come together to make the exploration stage a success, as well as the design and feasibility. Everybody is needed, including even the mathematicians. They are not being left out in the process of making the mining value chain being valued. So when we are looking at, just to mention a few, it's not all. I know we have other types of, or other field of disciplines or engineers that some of us may be reading that you cannot even find here. But this is just to show that at the exploration stage, at the design stage, at the extraction stage, processing, the logistics, even the reclamation stage, we need all the engineers to come together at a point to give a better and a sufficient way of putting things together to get a solution. The aim is that at the end of the day, we will get result. That's what we are looking at. And so regardless of what you are reading, you fit in every stage. You only need to know what you are doing or what you can do to make the stage a success. And so every hands is needed with the field of engineering in the mining field. As I said earlier on, people who are not even in the engineering field can contribute to these stages. As much as I've listed just a few for the presentation, it doesn't really restrict that only these disciplines are found or located in the mining value chain. This is just to let us know that the various stages and the various activities that are being carried out, these disciplines can be found. So you won't just say that exploration, we only need a geologist or a geomatic engineer to undertake the exploration process or stage. Because even to talk of the equipment that, let's say, a geologist may use, may need to undergo that training. You know, we can all bear witness that equipment or material might be designed by different departments before even get into their hands for use. So it is very key and important that you know what you are reading, and then what you are reading will contribute to the efficiency and then sustainability of mine. At the end of the day, we are looking at getting results for whatever that task has been put for us to achieve. And now the main question here is that beyond understanding all these rules, success actually depend on how you prepare yourself to meet them. And so the industry is too big that one person cannot do it alone, as we saw. You can't just say, as a mechanical engineer, you want to complete the entire chain of mining, or you alone want to sit down and do the, like, let's say, or mine a certain part of a particular minerals. That it doesn't work that way. In the industry, in the mining industry, it's a teamwork. Once you come together and then you bring ideas together, you achieve the goal that you want to do. So how then do we bridge the gap between what we have or what we are studying in classroom and then what the real world situation or industry require? As we are still in school, the first thing is that we should get, or we will need a hands-on exposure. Okay, most of us, depending on the level in which we are, one or two may have the opportunity to be in an internship. In our various on campus, I don't know about other schools, but with UMass, we have workshops that we get hands-on exposures, that we are able to do things on our own, not just what we have in the book. And then when you are out of school, not only national service, then you yourself position yourself that even if you don't get internship, you are going to areas that you need the skills, the hands-on skill, that you don't need a company to call you for internship. If they don't call you, what are you doing for the exposure? You get it? Because as much as you are a mining engineer or you are a mineral engineer or a metallurgist, you can be a geological engineer or geometric. You don't only need your school to give you internship, as everybody is looking to go into the industry. No, you look at what you need to build yourself aside the classroom lessons that you are taking. So when you are on break, if you search for companies to do industrial attachments and you're not getting, you be open-minded and look at how you can get something that it might not look like, because you didn't get the industry or the mining company, you are not going to do anything to put yourself in a position to expose yourself to the work environment. Also, we all bear witness that we are now in the technological world, and so everything that we do in the mines and outside the mines will require some sort of technology level in it. So we need to abreast ourselves with the new technologies that are needed in the industry. For instance, for the electrical engineers, they may be automating PLC. Computer science people may be doing programming and all that. But this is not to say that you are going to challenge yourself only in the areas that you need to perfect your discipline. So if it is vacation and maybe you didn't get internship, you can just pick any of the technology tools that they are being used in the mining industry and study on your own. There are so many ways that you can actually learn these technologies. Either your friends can, there are free courses, AI tools are there that you can use. So don't just focus on, okay, so probably I'm a geometric engineer. I just want to study and abreast myself with GIS. Or probably maybe I'm a mechanical engineer. I only want to focus on how to use AutoCAD or SolidWorks. It's not the focus that we are supposed to. We need to embrace the different type of technologies that will add up to what you're already doing. So it makes you different and ahead of your peers. So if you are reading mining engineer or you are reading, let's say, minerals engineer, then in your vacation or 1 month vacation where you may not have the opportunity to even do internship, you go ahead and then read mining, you read data analysis, you do GIS, and then you do other things that are not really related to the mind, but in other discipline. that is an extra tool for you to use and take advantage of it over your peers who is just focusing on the next one I will say. So basically, we may have the most important thing most of the industry are looking out for is how you relate to people. You may have the skill, but your character to the skill is very important, because your character may your skills may end up giving you an opportunity or put you in the position to be able to earn that skills. But your character to the skills that you have may bring you out of the opportunity that you've gotten. So actually, the value that you bring on board validates your stay. So once you are adding extra value, make sure that you learn certain soft skills, learn how to communicate to your peers, learn how to lead little projects that they give you. Even when you go to internship, opportunity to do internship, and tasks are being given, don't shy away and say, oh, I'm an intern, I'm a service personnel. Just do it. Know how you are going to communicate. And just to add up to the technology, here the soft skill, we all have to be abreast on the usage of computer. If you know only Word and then PDF, from today, after this meeting or this section, you need to upgrade and look at the other software that you have to be able to use in the, because just as our chairman said, the industry is now broad, not unlike before that. The number of people who have this technical skill were limited and they were coming up, so you can find yourself any place. But when you go to internship, in as much as you are going to learn, when you bring something else on board, you see that you become a target or a mark, because what you sent in there, even as an intern, will create a space, an opportunity for you, for all the people in there to look out for you the next time you are out, or there's even an opportunity or space for you to use. So it's important that we develop our soft skills whilst we are developing, as much as we are developing our technical skill. Both should be hand in hand. We shouldn't just upgrade ourselves technically and then leave how our people management skills and other skills, that our leadership skills. People are shying away, even in the project group that they are giving. They all like to, most of us will feel like, oh, this person can do it. You are in a group, yet when tasks are shared, your part is not being done because this person is always doing it. You tend to leave your load of work to the other person. These are the little things that you need to build up from that stage before you even get up into the industry or before you enter into the industry. So it's very important, as we are developing our technical skill, we develop the soft skill as well. It will go a long way with you in the industry. And last but not the least, I will say that let's stay connected. Okay, so staying connected, this is a platform that we can use to stay connected, because now we have UNED chapter, I think we have Kumasi chapter, we have UMAT chapter, and others, even outside Ghana. So what are you doing? Are you always saying that I belong to this professional body and you're not benefiting from that professional body? No. So as you have been able to join today as a member, this creates opportunity for you to know what is happening. And you, not only the speakers, you get opportunity to meet new people. Example, like today's program, you have a chair. And look at the story that he gave us with his life experience. It's something that you can add up to what you are already doing. And when you stay connected, you are able to know the trends that are happening in the industry, not just in the classroom. I would say that whilst you are in school, it's good you have groups and teams, like build strong connections and network, like not just friends that you can go and eat food from. No, not just friends that you call for money. No, we are looking at in UMAT, they have Innovation Day and all that. People come together, even one person, look at a problem and then solve. And at the end of the day, not only is the person going to get an award or a prize for that, but that project that they exhibit or they present can be developed to the real life situation. And that's someone's entrepreneurship business. I know people from that state that they've developed their projects that they use for innovation and other things out of school. So in as much as they find themselves in the corporate world, they are doing something else extra out of what they are taking at the end of the month. People are managing drones on their own as a team and other things, just to mention a few. I know whilst you are in school, you identify problems. The main focus or the main aim for us to be able to bridge the gap between the industrial world and then that of the classroom is to stay abreast and connected. Group of people don't trust each other, but let's just say we all know that Galamsey is happening. For example, when you think of the problem at hand, what can you do as a person? Do you need people together to get a solution to what you have identified? There are so many different problems surrounding Galamsey or illegal mining per se. Somebody has sat down and said, yes, I can just do something that will just alert or alarm the authorities that this area is giving or is carrying out illegal mining activity. Simple. And then solution is being done. Not only that, the person is not sitting down. The person goes ahead and then find institution and then sponsorship that could help this to come to. So most of us find ourselves in a situation where we have the very big ideas. Yes, we may have, but we are not doing anything to put them in action. Trust me, if we have 100 students in mining and then we have, let's say, just 10 mining companies in Ghana, and you're looking for just internship, maybe all the 100 people may not be able to fit into the 10 company. So what do? You start small and then develop it into a big thing. So I would say that when you stay connected as group and teams, we can solve problems that are in the mining industry or even in Ghana. Let's just look at Galamsey, and then we have one mining engineer, we have one mineral engineer, one electrical engineer, one geological engineer, all these in a team. We are able to do something. When you come up with a solution to a problem, don't sit on it. Take both action steps. We have platforms that you can be presenting for sponsorship. You can even speak to people in the industry to give you sponsorship and then see how best this can be nurtured into a larger extent. But we are all looking for maybe Newmont to work, AngloGold to work, and then that's it. But there is still problems, even in those companies that we want to go. If you go to the corporate world, if you get an opportunity to do an intern attachment or let's say just a field trip, you get an opportunity to do a national service, it is a point where you look out for problems and put solution, because at that point, the things that you came out from school with, they may be fresh, and you even understand better when opportunities are given for you to do field trips and internship, national service and all that. And you know how to gather solution, write proposals to get funds and everything that you need. I remember when back in school, we used to do some solution to problem for the villages. That was in Actus. And then mostly when we put the solution, all that we come together will be, how are we going to fund it? How are we going to fund it? So some of the things, when you look at the cost involved, you don't even put a step, because the main issue we have is funding. But as I said, if you have your things in order, you have the best and better proposal in order, getting funds for something wonderful or something that is going to put Ghana and the entire country in a better position. Trust me, you're not going to just be there thinking about funds, but you're going to take drastic actions to make the things come to. And so finally, we are looking at innovate for sustainability. I think I've spoken a bit or more on this in my submission with Staying Connected. So we are looking at mining safely and sustainably. So the carbon emissions and pollutions that comes in and out from the activities of mining. We are now trying to do green energy. And so even this is a great opportunity to look at this stage, which level I am, no matter what can I bring on board that will even fetch not only money for myself, not only solution for the country, but then an opportunity that we can create something bigger and give or close the gap of unemployment in Ghana. So, because once you're able to bring something that is tangible, you create opportunity for people that they are not getting work to do to join you. And so it's a big thing when you look at being innovative and creative. That's very important because all of us have mining degree, yes. Some may have attended tech, others, others UMAT, but the course might be the same. So you ought to be different. You ought to be creative. You ought to be innovative. Just set yourself apart from your colleague, and then you are good to go. I'm not sure that with the technical skills you have, and then the right character, both combined, you are not going to excel in anything. You set your mind to, you gather the things that you need. Finally, I would like to say looking at the mining value chain, okay, and the career opportunities beyond the classroom. So basically, what we are saying is that engineers don't just play a part, okay. So we saw from the beginning that from the inception to the end of the mining process, every engineer is needed, and every engineer is very important to make the mining sector or the mining industry a sustainable one. And so it should be our priorities as engineers that whatever is happening already can happen. But as young engineers coming up, our focus should be on safety and sustainability. And so regardless of what you are reading, make sure you know a factor or a bit of safety, environmental sustainability. And then I said again that what we need to achieve the success or to make the industry valuable is that when we come together as a team, okay, because teamwork actually says it all. You cannot work in isolation. We work hand in hand to make the issues at hand being solved. So once you find yourself in a particular discipline, try connect with others. Find people that you are able to work with. Find people that you are able to team up with. Find people that you trust, that you'll be able to say that this is the idea I've gotten out of all the galamsey issues that is happening, out of all the illegal mine, out of the carbon emission coming, out of all these problems. Let's tackle this and make it big. Okay, you can even go outside and then bring in somebody from our account, supply chain, whatever that you need. As a team, you can be unstoppable, but you need to trust each other. And the main goal or the main aim for engineers is that every day is a day for us to explore. Every day is a day for us to adapt, and every day is a day for us to innovate something new. we don't just learn the degree and put it there. It's a learning process for us. So we have to keep exploring. We have to keep adapting. Follow the trend that is happening, and then know how best you can adjust to make your life and the life of the country and the world at large a success and safe way to stay. Finally, as today we are launching the UNED branch today, I would like to say that it should be a reminder that the professional growth begins with engagement. Okay, there's something about being wishing for something and being open-minded and going for what you want. There are two different things. I can wish, as I'm sitting here, the things I want to do in 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years to come. But then if I don't engage and think that my idea will be stolen, I'm not going to go. And so come out of that shed that you have put yourself in, and then seek engagement. Seek for people that you can trust and confide in it, so that your idea can come out together. When we meet somewhere another day, you say that due to today's program, you didn't sit on your idea yet because of the encouragement that you've had, because of the empowerment you have had today. That idea that you have, we are going to put it into a fruition. So we are going to use this platform to learn, collaborate, and network. And then as the next generation of engineers, I know that in the next 5 years or so to come, we are going to have the mining industry face change, being responsible and then sustainable. So I would like to end by saying that I wish everyone, all the new inductors, a safe journey and a success in everything that they will set their mind to do, and then do it well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Veronica, for such an inspiring presentation. We'll now move on to our second presentation, titled Your Health is Your Capital, Preparing for a Productive Career Life, to be presented by Dr. Silas Anan-Kakabaah. He is a resident family physician. Dr. Silas, please go ahead.
Okay. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. Let me share my screen. Okay. So I don't know if you can see my screen. Hello?
Yes, sir. We see your screen.
Okay, very well. So we are discussing health. As part of your growth and then your progress, you need health education in order to progress. Right? So today we are dealing with having your health as your capital. As graduates are preparing for productive career life, what they need to do. So we do a touch on some basic things. But I normally ask these questions. What do you want as graduates or as an individual? What do you really want? What do you want to achieve? What do you want in life? Everyone has been given a choice. Our maker, God, gave us the options to choose whatever we want. So we are not forcing, we are not under any obligation to choose health and productive health, but it is all about what you want. So what do you want? That is the question we ask. Is it more money? Is it money, more money, excess money, overpopulated money? Is it money? Is it about health? Do you want pure health? Do you want long life? Or you want to have a balance, the balance between money and then health? If there is, I think there is a model. Doesn't mean that any healthy person is rich or any rich person is healthy. This is a model. I think with the engineers, you can help me those who are well-versed in mathematics and then statistics, balancing health and then wealth, is there any correlation? Is it that any healthy person is rich or any rich person is healthy? There should be a constant somewhere. So that's what we are looking at. But the question I keep on asking, what do you want? Do you want more money over health, or healthier than wealth, or striking a balance between the two? But you get to know that health is actually wealth, because you may not have money now, but you can invest in your health, and being healthy will help you have enough money. You work, do the things which you've not done, which can bring you money, and in a period of about 5-10 years, wealth, or you restore your wealth or your riches or your money. Now, let me give you a scenario. This is a real life scenario of some of your minors or those who are ahead of you. You guys are now coming. So let me give you a short, brief history of some of these cases. There is this man, 39, he's called NR. We normally do not mention their names, but we use acronyms. Yes, he was 39, a father of two, who was one of the mining providers. I wouldn't mention the name of the mine. This man was married he was married for about 9 years. His firstborn was 8 years, and then his secondborn was 5 years. The secondborn was a sickle cell child, and then apparently this child was frequenting the hospital. So this man came, he was brought in to our facility with sudden collapse. And when he asked of the details of the history, what he indicated was, think due to the frequent visitation of the hospital by his child, he doing up and down, doing 12-hour shifts or sometimes more, and then finishing taking care of the family, because the wife has to stay home to take care of the kids. Since one is sick or easily get sick, the wife is more like a housewife, has to be in the house. So he does more of the financial things, working, providing finances, also staying up in helping them at times. And in the mining field, it is demanding. They do 12 hours or sometimes more, 13 hours. So this man has been doing up and down. But then one of the days he had closed from work and then going home, got out of his car, and then suddenly this man collapsed. The people around didn't know what to do. They poured water on him, and then finally decided to rush him to the hospital. When he came, he was conscious, but then we asked, there was chest pain. They said it was brief chest pain. He had difficulty breathing periodically, and then he had easy fatigability. That means that with a short distance of walking or any little activity, he got tired. Now, the family history, as said, this man has no family history of hypertension, diabetes, heart attack, or stroke. Aside having his own nuclear family, the extended family had no pressure on him, so he had nothing else. And for the social history, this man was an occasional drinker. He was not frequently taking alcohol. So just as and when maybe there was an event, this guy would take in some few shots or bottles of drinks or alcohol. And he never smoked. Periodically, he takes coffee just to boost his energy. And then at times, he replaces his meals with energy drinks so that he can stay active to meet targets at work. Now, on examination, this man had difficulty breathing. His heart rate was very high, and then his BP was also high. We did assessments, lab investigations, and then we realized that this man has pulmonary embolism, P. P is like you have a blood clot sitting in the lungs, and then therefore oxygen exchange between the lungs and the heart becomes so difficult. So this man had that condition, and he collapsed. Lucky for him, he was brought to the facility early. Fortunately, he survived. Otherwise, we would have lost this man. This is a real life scenario that can happen to anyone in the field. Now, we have, your body and your mind are your engines of productivity. Okay, if you know these, how are you maintaining them? Because you as engineers, that's the tools you use, your body and your mind. You need your mind for assessing situations, analyzing situations, and then coming out with the best solution. You need your body to do the movement, the physical activities. Now, if these are your tools, how well are you maintaining them? So this is the second question. This first question is, what do you want? Is it money, health, or the balance between the two? The second question is, if your body and your mind are your engines for productivity, how well are you maintaining them? The contents, by the end of this, it's going to be brief. We are going to talk about now the reality, meeting the world, what is health, and then productivity. Now we have some statistics to share, that's obvious. And then the common health problems the young graduates and even newly employed individuals face, and dealing with some of those problems. Now, there is a major thing which we barely talk about, unless maybe by chance you visit the hospital and then you find it out. That's choosing a partner. Now we have a preventive health perspective, because now choosing a partner, not maybe, I don't mean choosing the right partner in terms of physical appearance, or I'm talking about genetic. So the effect of ill health and then areas supporting well-being, and then our take-home message. Now the reality. The reality, it's indicated by research that about 34.8% of new graduates are always anxious. This is a global research that indicates that new graduates are mostly anxious about the next action to take, because you are new to the job market, job search, finding the right choices, even finding the area to find the right job opportunities becomes a problem. And then some of these people indicated that about the weekly get burnout, even though they've not really even started physical production or work. They are reporting burnout. And then those who find themselves in some companies, about 45% reported like that the dynamics in the workplace affected their mental health. And when it comes to Ghana, it is surprising to know that about a lot of the people between the ages of 20 to 29 are reporting with major depressive mood disorder. Major depressive mood disorder, we have depression, and then we have major depressive disorder. That means that the depression has gone beyond 2 weeks. And then the person or the individual who is affected does not have interest in the things they were previously enjoying. Let's say someone used to enjoy movies, someone used to watch football, someone used to chat with friends. Now, within a period of about 2 weeks or more, this person is not having the interest in such things, and it is affecting their sleep, it is affecting their concentration. Some even end up with guilt feeling that whatever is they are going through, whatever challenges they are facing, is as a result of their own doing, or they have caused it on themselves. So they get into major depressive mood disorder. And then unfortunate thing is in Ghana, there's treatment gap. There are few places where treatment of psychiatric conditions are built. Tarkwa, there is no space for, let's say, psychological therapies, unless maybe you walk all the way to Ipkus, where you have the Ankara psychiatric home or the hospital. The psychiatric hospital doesn't mean only mentally challenged individuals are treated, but then people who are suffering from some psychological trauma, some psychological issues can also have treatment. Fortunately, Ghana, there is this gap. So that has also become a challenge. You going into the world, yes, just after graduation, when you are struggling to find jobs, most of us or most of you will find yourself in an anxious state. Some will be stressed, some will report with burnout. And finally, when you hit a job, school you are doing morning till maybe 5 o'clock. In the job market or in the mining industry where you are doing, let's say 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., you end up with other mental conditions as well. Now, health versus productivity. So we have health. So when we talk about health, it is not just about physical presence of conditions, but we have emotional, we have social, we have financial. So health is not, it is just not the presence of physical issues or trauma or physical things we see, but it encompasses social, economic, and then the well-being of an individual. Now, productivity is the output which you get from your activities. So if you are not in good health, like you don't have sustained energy, you are not focusing, you are not being innovative
Mother,
enough.
that
I
thing,
mean,
you know, you dey take
productivity,
from before. That thing you dey take pan the way the skin
your
dey, no.
productivity will be low.
You know, be that
And
one.
then, but when you have good health, you have sustained energy, you'll be focused, you'll be innovative. Unfortunately, the opposite, you may not even end up going to work on time. You have burnout and you have reduced performance. Now, as engineering work is mentally demanding or physically demanding. So you have to take note of, pay good attention to your health. Now, the obvious in the job market, you see, new graduates. This research was done outside, not in Ghana. So Ghana, there is no such data, but then graduates are reporting some issues. One of it is preparing for interviews. Yes, they are fortunate enough that they've even been called, they've applied and they've been called to go for interview. And they are saying that about 26% of the people who were interrogated said they had difficulty preparing for interviews. But in Ghana, the problem is dealing with, how do you call it, even finding rules. You see, that's the last but one area. That is the last but one point. Finding rules in your field. This for new graduates. Unfortunately, Ghana, it is sometimes to whom you know. If you don't know anyone, it becomes difficult finding job. But I mean, in other words, they do not have that. The only problem they encounter is preparing for interview. You are going to face this a lot, like finding the right places to apply for jobs and dealing with those who apply, dealing with rejections, because a lot of them apply, a lot of graduates apply for jobs. Unfortunately, some are not even called. Instantly, some are rejected instantly the very day they submit their application. Now, dealing with them is also an issue. In other surveys, about 163 professional engineers were questioned. They subjected them to a survey. And of them, about 127, that's 77.8%, said that their work is often stressful. So mining, engineering itself is very stressful. So 127 out of the 163 said their work is very stressful. And then over about 67.5, that's about 110, also have gone to work feeling emotionally or mentally unwell, but they had to be at work. And have 42.3% saying poor mental health or emotional has affected their work. Even though their work, they found their job of interest, they are being paid well. Like mental health emotionally affects their work and then their output. And then 46.6% say there is this macho atmosphere where you have a bossy boss or supervisors and then controlling and asking you to do things which you feel you have little or no say. There is this final thing that I saw, which was a bit surprising. About 61.1 said they feel they could discuss their issues with their managers. Initially, I thought that was a problem, like new graduates or new employees discussing their mental health issues or emotional health issues with their managers. But then the world survey is indicating that people are less able to discuss their mental health issues with their managers. Now, the common health risk among the young professionals, we have the physical. So the physical problems people face currently, let me even start from the graduates to those who are employed. Posture. poor posture is like posture is about how you stand, how you walk, how you lie down, how you sit. And this affects us a lot more times. When you get to the mining industry, one of the major conditions reported at the OPD, that's the outpatient department, is back pain, fatigue. These people are complaining about these conditions, but then they are how do you call it? Measures you can put in place to address some of these conditions, which are easy to manage. Eye straining. Now, because of technology, we are using screens. We are having our meeting virtually, so everyone is glued to the screens. Afterwards, some will use their phone. You use your phone for advertisements. You use your phone for chatting. When you are employed, you go to work. You'll be using screens for your reporting, for your assessment, for your monitoring, and then you come back home. You use screen. Television is there. So poor posture, eye straining, and fatigue, tiredness are some of the physical challenges that young graduates and then newly employed individuals also experience or face. Now we have the psychological health risk, including stress. Now, stress is just like you are at the edge. You want to achieve something, then you are not there yet. So what you have to striking a balance between yourself and then what you want to achieve. That it puts you at the edge. You don't know what to do. And prolonged stress can be harmful. Some are anxious, like the fear and then worry, too much fear of probably not achieving your targets or maybe reaching where you want to be. The mental fatigue is what we call the burnout. So people, new graduates, and then newly employed individuals are stressed, they're anxious, and then they also encounter burnout. Now, lifestyle. Fortunately, like this an easy thing to do, but then a lot of youth, they have irregular meals because some eat once or twice a day instead of taking 3 square meals. And even if they are going for their 3 square meals, they do not go in for this healthy meal. They take in junk. The newly employed they go to work morning at let's say 6, 7, come back at 8. So they end up either forfeiting breakfast and then getting home late, meaning they're also going to take late supper. And this alone can tip you into a lot of health conditions, including hypertension, diabetes, heart attack, and even cancers. So, but this is how the life starts, the life of people living with chronic conditions starts. So irregular meals, lack of sleep, and then physical inactivity. Physical inactivity in medical terms is sedentary lifestyle. You are not exercising. Not exercising alone has been implicated in many conditions as one of the risk factors. So cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, stomach cancer, almost all the cancers, lack of exercise has been implicated as one of the risk factors. Diabetes, type 2, one of the risk factors is inactivity, that's lack of exercise. Hypertension, lack of exercise. Stroke, lack of exercise. Kidney failure, lack of exercise. Heart attack, lack of exercise. But the unfortunate thing is, when you ask why you not exercising, one day relate it to their scope of work or their line of duty. That I go to work from morning 7 o'clock to 8 over an break. That is fine. So it's more like you are choosing something else over your health. And let me cite an example. Our president, former president, what was the name? Atamels. If this man had paid much attention to his health, I mean, he did. But then due to politics, there were certain things he was not supposed to do. He report from outside, get on the tarmac, and then start running. That is one of the things he shouldn't have done. But I mean, the moment we lost this man, it took Ghana, how many years did it take Ghana to replace him? Not even up to a year, instantly. So no matter how important you are in your office or wherever you've been placed, you should know that you are replaceable. So your health should be one of your major priorities. Now, occupational, those who are employed, You see, you have noise pollution, dust pollution, chemical pollution, heat and a long screen hours. These pose a lot of risk on our health. So periodically, you have to assess. Now, getting back to the investment side, you see, you have health and you want to know whether it's your capital. My next question is, if you want to be a billionaire in the next 10 years, what do you do? What do you have to do now? Or will you wait till the next 10 years before you start taking action? The actions start now, but then what are you doing or what do you do in order to invest, to have a healthy future? That's the investment. So your capital, health as your capital, what do you need to do? So physical, you see, there are basic things. Physical, I talked about posture. So posture, there are people who walk from the left, the first image, you walk leaning back. The second image from the left. You see, this one is seen in most ladies. It is seen in most ladies, either having a heavy back or trying to maybe showcase what they have at the back. They tend to stand this way. The third or the middle image, that is how some people stand. But amazingly, I also did a short survey with postures, and then I displayed this third image. A lot of people were saying, no, for them, there is no way they'll stand like this, the middle image or the fourth image from the left. So that's the second image from the right. The normal good posture when you are standing is the first one from the right, or the fifth image. Now, looking at the middle and then the fourth image from the left, you realize that just putting a backpack, okay, having a bag at your back and then chatting alone tips you into, I think, the middle, yes, the thoracic kyphosis state. You just look at it. This person has a backpack, and then he is also reading, bending the head in order to read something from his phone. When you continue doing this for over a period, you are going to have back pain. As I said earlier, back pain is one of the major, I guess, the most reported conditions which workers report at the OPD. So this attitude, this behavior is going to tip you into such a situation, so you need to avoid it. And then now posture, standing. You don't stand with your neck bent forward. You have to stand with a straight back. When walking, you don't lean forward and walk. You also have to walk straight with your shoulders straight and then your back straight. That gives you that form of relief at your back, because your back is as I said, when you start having back pain, you will not be productive as you wish to be, and it will affect you. And then standing and then using the screens so you can see, instead of bending or putting the phone on a table, you can elevate it to about 45 degrees to your face and then read it. Now sitting, I think it's obvious when you go to classrooms, you realize that, or offices, you realize that a lot of people in the offices are sitting there with their back bent forward or their body bent forward. Ideally, your body should be straight and you should face the screen, bending and then lifting. So when you are lifting something from the ground, you need to bend your knee, not straighten your knee and then rather bending your hip. If you do that, you end up with a back pain. So sleeping or lying too has its own. So physically, you need to learn how to stand. You need to learn how to walk. You need to learn how to sit. This will help you in protecting your back. Otherwise, you start having back problems. And the moment the back problems radiate to the nerve or the spinal cord, unless surgery, and then surgery also affects a lot of people. Some undergo spinal surgeries, and then unfortunately they are not functional. They end up non-functional. So do not even get there. Preventive health. Do not have the condition. Let's prevent it before it sets in. Now the screen time. There is this 20-20-20 rule. That means that when you watch the screen for about 20 minutes, okay, you have to look away into space about 20 feet away. Like you can just look 20 feet away, and you do that for 20 seconds. So After every 20 minutes, you look 20 feet away and you do that for 20 seconds and you look back on the screen. It protects the eye. Otherwise, you need to get screen shields or photochromic glasses. Photochromic glasses are glasses that reduce the amount of light entering into our eyes. That will protect your eye. Remember, your eye is your gateway to the living. If you are blind, you would not enjoy life. No matter how wealthy you are, there will be a lot of things that wouldn't go well with you. So protect your eye. Don't forget the 2020 rule. Now the screens are with us. We can't take away the screens. Okay, your work. So you use your screens, you use your phone, you go home, you watch news on television. So when you do this, you are behind the screen for 20 minutes. You look away for into 20 feet space, and you do that for 20 seconds, and you look back on your screen. It's not going to take a very long time. Now, psychological. So a lot of us, they have anger issues, some are stressed, even to the extent that some become paranoid, like they feel some people do not like them, they want to kill them and stuff. I mean, there are things you have no control over. Let's say some political issues, laws and regulations, you have no power. The laws are there, regulations are there, you just need to follow. No matter how wrong they are, you can't do anything about it. And then it is also pleasing to human vanity to believe that almost all people doing well, or almost, let's say, women finding jobs or people finding jobs are having sordid characters. So there are some people who are struggling to have jobs or to find jobs. They feel they are better than those who are already working. And we tend to believe that those who are working, especially a lady working or find herself in a better position, people tend to believe that maybe she achieved her position by sleeping with someone else or through some sordid means. So it is actually pleasing to human vanity. It makes you a bit relieved, but that is not the case. Okay, always try and then be optimistic. Just have that positive mentality. And then, yes, anger is a way of maintaining your posture at a certain point, but anger should not go beyond certain hours or minutes. In Christianity, it is said that your anger should not, the sun should never set on your anger. That is purely physical and health, not spiritual. So that is it. So anger should not go beyond some hours. It's if there's something disturbs you within, if you are angry within an hour or two, it shows okay. You can't do much about it. But whoever caused the anger is maybe even living his life. And then stress. Stress is common. If you want to be successful, there are periods that you have to be stressed. Yes, but you have to know how to manage it. You shouldn't prolong your stress. If you will be anxious, you are searching for job, you are not getting there, your plans are not getting into falling in place. Yes, you will be anxious. Do not prolong the stress. Take some breaks and then take those steps another day. Now, lifestyle. There's an area I use in therapies. You see, we have nutrition. As I said, people are not taking breakfast, people are starving, people are not eating well. People tend to, some want to lose weight, so they end up not taking breakfast. Now, there is something we call starvation, something we call fasting. Fasting is a period without food for about 8 hours. Starvation is a period without food for 12 hours. During starvation, when you've not eaten for 12 hours, your body helps you, gives you energy because the food you took, the body takes what it can use, stores what is in excess, and then later reuse it. Now, when that is depleted, it goes back into deeper storages. So the protein in your hair, protein in your nail, these things are broken down to generate energy for you. So someone can go a day or two without food. You would live, you would smile, you would go on with your daily activities. But the side effect of that is like high levels of bad cholesterol. So if you are not taking your breakfast, and then bad cholesterol is one of the major causes of the chronic conditions, hypertension, diabetes, the heart conditions, that's coronary artery diseases. So you don't want to get there. Try, even if you are not taking your breakfast, you can take something small and then like have the day. So the whites have something called breaking fast. So their breakfast is somehow light. You take light meal, but you don't want to take something heavy. You take light meal, and then you have your lunch or heavy meal an hour or two later. Never forfeit your breakfast, and then never also indulge in junk. It doesn't help. Try to have regular good meals. Do not forfeit your breakfast. Try and take your 3 square meals. If you want to lose weight, what you need to do is instead of taking maybe the full plate of what you take, you can take portions or maybe divide your portions into two and then take. So if you take a plate of rice for breakfast, lunch, you can divide the plate into two and then take half of it. You wouldn't get the full energy, but then the body will store or maintain or live with the little you provided. Physical inactivity, as I've said, in a day, we need, no, in a week, every adult needs about 6 hours of activities or exercises. The question is, how many hours are we doing? We've related everything to work, stress, academics. So we are unable to exercise. And now you have to know that lack of exercise or lack of physical activity is one of the major causes of some of the chronic conditions, which the chronic conditions means that they have no cure. You will live with it for the rest of your life. So we are seeing 24, 25, even 30-year-old guys coming to the hospital with hypertension and diabetes, which are not genetic. I mean, their parents do not have it. There is no family history of these conditions, but just their lifestyle, physical inactivity has resulted in that. Now, the third one is sleep or rest. Ideally, for an adult, anyone after the age of between 16 and then 55, you need about 6 hours of sleep in 24 hours. Going beyond that, you are not going to be productive. Going below that, it is also not going to help you because lack of sleep has its own issues. So having 6 hours of sleep should be enough for anyone above the age of 6 years. You will hear some say you should do 8 hours, should do 12 hours. That is for those who have children. You see, there is a saying that he that will thrive must rise at 5, and he that has striven can lie till 7. So if you want to thrive, do not depend on someone who has made it in life and is enjoying about 8 hours to 10 hours of sleep. Try and then stay up to 6 hours. Spend about 6 hours of sleep. 24 hours minus 6 hours, you have 18 hours. So the 18 hours, if you are spending 12 hours or 13 hours awake, you have about 5 more hours to yourself. The 5 hours left, you can spend 30 minutes or an hour in a day to exercise, the rest to yourself. So learning new skills, as it has been said, and maybe spending time with family and then stuff. Now, there's no benefit of alcohol. So never in any day think alcohol will have some benefit for you. There have been more researches implicating alcohol in health risk because alcohol has no benefit. Do not go there. I mean, we have genetic differences. Someone in Jamaica has smoked all his life, he's alive. Okay. Someone in Ghana smokes a day and hits the streets. Some people had COVID and then they died instantly. Some had COVID, they had symptoms, they were in severe cases, they were treated. Some had COVID, they never even had symptoms, they didn't even know they had symptoms. You get it? So these are 3 separate individuals who were exposed to the same condition, but then different outcome. One died, one had to be in the ICU, another never even had symptoms at all. You don't know your genetic makeup, so do not expose yourself to anything that will make you have cancers or something in the near 10 years. And when you start taking alcohol now, or if you decide not to take your nutrition, your diet, or you are not going to be physically active, you are not sleeping well. In the next 10 years, there are lots of things you would be deficient in, you wouldn't be able to do. And then smoking or the use of tobacco. Now, it seems smoking is going down, but then there is a replacement. Instead of smoking weed, they put these substances in their drinks, in their food. So when you are going for parties, you are going for any events, That's what they do. They put it there. Just be careful. You don't need them in your daily lives. It's not going to be helpful. Occasionally, if you want to drink, that is but I'm saying if you want to have a healthy life, try and then stay away. You don't know your genetic buildup. And then when you find yourself in the occupational health, now there's total worker health, which mining companies are employing to protect their staff. That is the physical, psychological, and then the lifestyle changes. They are doing this too. So in occupational, they are trying to, but your health is actually your own responsibility. So you have to take your health into your own responsibility. Now, coming back to choosing a partner, I have this sickle cell disease. Okay, I just want to talk about sickle cell, nothing else. It is one of the conditions a lot of us, even if we know, we just blind our eyes to its issues. You see, if you have to first of all know your sickle cell status. If you know your sickle cell status, you know the type of partner to go in for. Because assuming you are AA is normal, AS is a carrier. So being a carrier, you don't go in for a woman or a man who is AS. If you are AS, sorry, if you are AS, you don't go in for a man who is how do you call it? A carrier. Otherwise, you have kids who are sickle cell. So try your best to know the type of your you have to know the sickling status of your partner. And then there's a chart I placed there. So you have to know if you are AAAS, then the type of partners to choose. Otherwise, you end up with problem. And then sickle cell kids or babies, they end up, they frequent the hospitals. And no matter how rich you are, when you start having your family visiting the hospitals frequently, it affects your mental health, it affects your productivity. Now, complications of ill health, stress, depression, people get overweight or obese, they have heart diseases like cancer type. So these are the complications of ill health. Try not to get there. And then the areas in supporting mental health, nutrition, mind-body mindfulness, just try and have sleep. And then social connection, you've been informed. The presenter before me showed you or taught you how to socially connect, just as we are currently doing, but there are platforms you can socially connect. Avoid harmful substances, that's alcohol and then cigarettes, and then be physically active. Now the take home, your degree opens the door. That is what you need to know. Your skills will keep you in the room, but your health determines how long you will stay in that room and then perform. So make sure you put your health first before anything else. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Silas, for such an enlightening and practical presentation. Thank you for letting us know how important our health is, and then we should take care of our health. Now we'll move on to our special guest remarks. We'll hear from our founder, Engineer Henry Entry. We are honored to have you here, sir. Please proceed.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me, Meredith?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Thanks for the fantastic presentations. Mine will be a bit shorter because a lot have been said already. But first, I want to appreciate some executives and members of AusIMM who have kept the light on. So we have some certificates of appreciation, which will be sent to them as part of their achievements. The first one goes to Mr. George Asongo in recognition of his exemplary leadership, support to students' activities, and then also helping the executives with their programs, stepping in when required. So we thank you very much, George, for your support. The second one goes to our president, Mr. Mahmoud Baba Yakubu, a certificate in appreciation of your sacrificial services, coordinating all these activities, contacting resource people. Almost every day, he sends me a message. Thank you very much. So you have a certificate of appreciation. The third one goes to Mr. Edwin Osu Jesse, the PRO. He's been fantastic in globally showcasing AusIMM to the mining community, doing all the flyers publicity. We thank you very much. We also have certificates of appreciation to the admissions committee. They don't only admit, they also do knowledge sharing through the word of the week. Recently, I gave them a project on the effectiveness of mining cadastral administration system, which is the MCAS being used by MINCOM, to look at gaps and come up with recommendations. They are currently working with a patron. So I want to appreciate the members, Dorothy Boateng, the head, for being a fantastic leader, Pascal Ayen Yabo of UNE, Opoku Pearl, Patrick Mawuli, and Bright Danso Jr. Last but not the least goes to the head of mining engineering, Mr. Henry Dazi, and the head of environment and safety, Lisa Lodina, for your fantastic coordination of your programs. So that's the first part. The second part, I just want to spend some few minutes to talk about the role of engineering in recent global dynamics after hearing from our speakers. I witnessed firsthand the first shipment of iron ore from Guinea, a $20 billion project, where we saw an engineering accomplishment right from coordinating logistics to building 600 kilometers of railway systems, connecting inland deposits to deep water ports. And as I witnessed this engineering ingenuity, a graduate mechanical engineer from Guinea approached me and he said, this is the best time to graduate as a mechanical engineer, because he went into mechanical engineering on the advice of his father, who had a mechanical workshop. But then he found himself, he never dreamt of being in the mining sector. He found himself working with competent engineers from Ghana, Australia, Canada, and around the world. So he shared his experience. Last year, I was in Canada looking at an automation project, and I saw a Zimbabwean electrical engineer coordinating the entire automation, pioneering instrumentation and control. Just a few weeks ago, I was in Cuba, and at the mine site, I saw a Ghanaian geomatic engineer doing all the entire surveying, calculating volumes, and driving the entire mine plan. So why are these important? They are important because even if we look at Australia, just last year alone, exports of minerals amounted to about $385 billion, the largest contributor to the national economy. But when I look at projects from 2025 to 2030, Australia is going to spend $130 billion in mining projects alone. And this involves about 96 greenfield projects, new projects. So you can imagine the number of mechanical engineers, electrical, civil, and so on that Australia alone requires. But more importantly, when the question came on the wishes or the concerns of the mining industry, there were three things: critical minerals, especially rare earths used for ammunition and so on. And then the ongoing need to decarbonize clean energy. And last but not the least is the role of government. And we are seeing governments playing critical roles in minerals development. Recently, Donald Trump and the Australian Prime Minister signed a $2 billion deal on critical minerals for Australia to supply critical minerals to the United States. Again, the US government has teamed up with Orion Resources and a fund in Qatar to invest about $1 billion of funds to invest in critical minerals. Who are going to build all these mines? It's engineers like yourselves. So you are coming in at the right time. While Ghana might not have been positioned very well, now it's a global world. And in Guinea, I saw Ghanaians. In Canada, I see Ghanaians. Australia, there are plenty. And so you have a critical role to play in all these fields. And it's becoming important because while there are shortages around certain areas, there are surpluses. And therefore, the Australians, Canadians are tapping into the shortages, the surpluses across Africa. So you are graduating at a very good time. It means you need to do the right things and make sure you are well positioned. Veronica talked about internships, and sometimes I find it very frustrating with some of you. I didn't get a mine, so I'm staying at home and so on. And I keep on giving examples of when I couldn't get a place, I went to learn how to do charcoal, cut the wood, dig a hole, and put it in. And I remember my mother resisting that move to go and learn charcoal, but it was the best internship I've ever had, because when in school and I was broke, I was able to do secondary job of selling charcoal and so on. So take any opportunity that you can get. It doesn't have to be your area of study. It's just to give you that experience, corporate experience, the discipline of waking up and going to work and so on. Now, engineering has become critical. Recently, there was a survey of 30 global mining CEOs. And that survey showed that 60% had engineering degrees in mining, chemical, and metallurgy. 30% had degrees in business finances, the likes of our chairman, whole 30%. And they are really penetrating because of their commercial skills. The remaining 10% were geologists, mechanical, chemical, and so on. But what is striking is that about half of all these CEOs have MBAs, Masters in Business Administration. And this is the gap that is missing across African continents. That while we have technically competent engineers as general managers, CEOs, there are not many of them that have the commercial astuteness of driving businesses. And therefore, you see that their role is always driven by head offices in Australia, Canada, and so on. So while you're thinking about master's degrees in mining engineering, chemical engineering, mechanical, and so on, I always advise that you can also add business administration to understand the commercial aspects of mining. It is in this context that recently, when I was approached by 3 students from UENR, pleading with me to extend the AusIMM to their university, that I considered. But let me caution you that there are no 2 chances. If you don't participate in the events and you are evicted, you don't come to me. It's an opportunity that you need to grab with open hands, welcome it, and then put it to your advantage. As the Vice President said, me and the international representative will find time to visit you. We went through that process at KNUST to get it registered, and we'll make sure you are properly registered as well. So I want to use this opportunity to congratulate you once again, and to congratulate all our graduating students who are going out in the field to contribute to the economic development of Ghana. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Engineer NG for your inspiring message and your continuous support. At this point, we'll open the floor for question and answer session. Please type your questions in the Zoom chat box. After all the questions have been written, I'll read them aloud for our speakers to respond. Kindly keep your questions short and concise. Thank you. We are still waiting for the questions in the chat session, please. Okay, you can as well raise your hand to speak. Okay, so we have one question here. I think it is directed to Dr. Silas. The question is, please, doctor, with the alcohol intake, some people say taking in club beer do not have a negative effect on our health. Can you throw light on it for me? Dr. Silas, please, this question
Okay.
is.
Yeah, so that is never true. There is research that indicate that if a man takes alcohol, 40 grams of alcohol for a period of 5 to 10 years, they get their liver shrinks. That is, they get cirrhosis of the liver and then subsequently cancer of the liver. A beer contains about 33 or more, because one beer, it's indicated, is about 5.5%, and then a beer bottle is about 630 ml. So that means for every 100 mils, there's 5.5 grams of alcohol. So that's 630 will be that, for that bottle will contain about 33 grams of alcohol. So taking 33 grams of alcohol is a lot at a certain. If it happens, you take two, and that's like taking 60 something grams of alcohol, and then in a period can predispose you to cirrhosis of the liver. That's later ending in cancers of the liver. It is not advisable. Maybe if you want to enjoy yourself, you can take anything less than that.
Thank you very much, Doc, for educating us. Please, are there any more questions? Okay, we have a second question here. She says, if I meet my group members who always leave assignments for me to do in the industry or somewhere apart from school, is it still advisable to not work in isolation? I think this question is directed to Ms. Veronica.
Please, can you read the question again for me?
Okay, Miss. She said, if I meet my group members who always leave assignments for me to do in the industry or somewhere apart from school, is it still advisable not to work in isolation?
Okay, thank you. So to answer this question, I would say that if you are in the industry and a job is given to you as a team, and there will be always a deadline for a task given. So once people are not forthcoming, the result that we are looking at, right? And so if someone's failure will make a job either delay or you not meeting your target, some of the operations, once what has been given is not done, operation might be in halt. So involved in doing the task the next time it is being given, because some of them don't understand why they are working in team and not giving individual assignments. So as part of you achieving the target or the deadline, you need to go on and do the work. Nevertheless, take it upon yourself. That's a leadership skill that you need to also deploy. Take it upon yourself that you encourage them and explain to them why it is important they need to get involved in the work that has been assigned. Wherever you find yourself, that is very key. So that's what I would say to the question that was just really. I don't know if my bosses would have something to add up to this question. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Veronica. We have a third question. She said, how do you gain experience or employment in countries which have a scarcity of trained graduates? If any of our speakers can help us with this question, please.
That is a very interesting question, because the challenge is that while companies are willing to bring in fresh graduates, employment laws sometimes don't allow it, because countries want to protect their citizens. So they don't want to flood in fresh graduates from other places. So in our circumstances, when I was working with BHP in the United States, for instance, me coming from Ghana and being employed in the United States, they had to go through a process of advertising the role and then demonstrating to the US Labor Department that they couldn't find a graduate who fit that particular role. And in those days, not many graduates understood how to use software like DataMine, Mindscape in those days, and so on. So they use that angle that he comes in with these skills. And therefore, they were able to demonstrate to the US government that can be employed. And so there are rules attached to that. But to overcome that, what countries like Canada, Australia, United States is doing is, if you happen to do your master's degree or even a bachelor's degree in those countries on a student visa, they give you about 2-year working visa to work in your area of expertise. So if you're a mechanical engineer, you cannot use that visa to go and work in agriculture or retail shop, because you can't find work in mechanical engineering. When I was given that opportunity in the United States, I had 2 years. And for almost 1.5 years, I couldn't find a job in mining. I was left with about 4 to 6 months before I found a job. But you don't want to break the rule, because once you break the rule, then your visa becomes invalid and so on. It can be challenging at times, but it's going in the favor of those foreigners working in those countries because of the need for all these engineers and so on. Companies are also finding a way around it by, for instance, Newmont, for instance, will have operations in Australia, Canada, United States, and so on. So they will use their internal systems to say that we are transferring him from Ghana to the US. In fact, one of the AusIMM presidents had that opportunity and working in the US now. So they transferred him from Newmont AusIMM in those days to Australia. And then they go in with specific visa types, and eventually they will turn it into permanent residency for them. So that's the response to your question.
Thank you very much, Engineer Henry. Okay, the next question is, please, is nuclear engineering related to mining in a way as to which some mechanical engineers do read MSc nuclear engineering? If any of our speakers can help us, please.
Yeah, maybe I'll take that one too. So what nuclear engineering is also related to energy. In fact, it's one of the cleanest energy. And so countries are tapping into nuclear energy. And that's why uranium has become so political these days. In Australia, for instance, if a foreign government is coming to invest, or if a company is coming to invest which is related to a government, they look at national interests. And so we had the Chinese coming in to acquire these publicly listed companies doing uranium and so on. So Australia passed a law that the finance minister, the equivalent of the finance minister, will have a review team to assess whether it affects national interests. And they use that to veto certain investments in strategic minerals like uranium and so on. So yes, it has a big role. Now, if you see the global dynamics, Iran is building nuclear facilities, and their excuse is it's going to be used for energy and so on. The Western world don't believe them, that they want to arm themselves for war and so on. So yes, it's got a critical role to play, and it's an area that needs a lot of emphasis and so on. I don't think there's nuclear engineering in Ghana, but in other countries, it's one of the well-known courses.
Thank you, Engineer Henry. Now to the next question. It says, do people who are engaged in hard physical work, like drilling operators, need to exercise regularly? In other words, is hard work a substitute for regular exercise? Dr. Silas, please, can you help us with this?
Yeah, so just like I think I meet this question frequently, especially footballers. You see, footballers exercise. I don't know if you paid attention to that. Even though their football is an exercising modality, the footballers do exercise before they go to play. So your profession is totally different from exercises. And then I'm a martial artist. I've practiced martial arts for over 19 years and counting. Yeah. And in martial arts, we say that training is different from exercising. Training is specific to various parts of the body. Your profession, drilling, and it has just some specific parts of the body. That is the muscles. Exercising deals with dealing with the heart, the veins, and the arteries, and then the brain. That is totally different from the work you do by drilling and then cutting trees like the farmers do. No. So you need to, even though you are drilling, you need to do some exercises for mental health, for your brain, for your arteries, for your yes, for your heart as well.
Thank you very much, Doc. We'll take our last question. It says, beyond the 2020 rule for eye strain, are there other practical daily exercises or habits you recommend to combat the effect of staring at a screen all day?
Yes, so you need to adjust your screen brightness. So some prefer using very bright screens, which is dangerous to the eye. So try and then reduce the brightness on your screen. And if you are using, let's say for television, you can't use shields, but the laptop, the computers, you can ask your employer or your manager or your supervisor to get you. There is a shield which is used to cover the screens to protect or to prevent the dangers of light entering into the eye. Otherwise, you can even get your own photochromic glasses. Photochromic glasses are just a form of glasses that have some filters that prevent the dangerous light rays from entering into the eyes. So yes, you can get photochromic glasses. And you should also be blinking frequently when you're using the screen. So you can watch on the screen for a period of time and then blink continuously, at least to lubricate the eye, preventing it from being dry. And then there's also something we call the 50-70. When it sits in front of your screens, it should be about 50 to 70 centimeters away from you, not closer. So the phones we use, some of the phones and people, they bring their phone very close to their eye, which can be dangerous. So just maintain between 50 and 70 centimeters away from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc. And thank you to everyone who shared their questions. And a big thank you to our speakers for their insightful responses. To wrap up our program, we'll now take the vote of thanks and motivation message from Mr. George Akribila Asongo, the AusIMM International Representative of Ghana. Mr. Asongo, please, we are listening to you.
Thank you very much, moderator Meredith. Good day, everyone. I am honored to be here today as the AusIMM International Representative for Ghana. And I'm excited to welcome our new members to the AusIMM UNER Student Chapter family. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Hello, sir. We can
Thank
hear
you.
you now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Does that mean from the beginning you never heard me? Hello?
Yes, please.
Did you hear me from the beginning?
No, please. We heard just a bit of the beginning.
No, please.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Let me get over it. I said good day, everyone, and I'm honored to be here as the AusIMM international representative for Ghana. I'm excited to welcome our new members to the AusIMM UNED Student Chapter family. I also like to take a moment to acknowledge the efforts of the individuals who made today's program possible. And to our esteemed speakers, thank you for sharing your insight and expertise with us. Your contributions will undoubtedly inspire and motivate our new members. To the founder of this chapter, we indeed appreciate your vision and leadership in bringing the AusIMM to UNED. Your dedication has created opportunities for students to engage with industry professionals and grow in their careers. And then to the committee, the organizing committee, thank you for your hard work and commitment to making this lunch and induction ceremony a success. As students of mining and related disciplines, you are part of a global community that is shaping the future of our industry. AusIMM is more than just a professional organization. It is a network of innovators, leaders, and change makers. As members of this chapter, you will have opportunities to learn from industry experts, network with peers and professionals, and develop skills that will set you apart in your careers. But it is not just about what you get, it is about what you contribute. I will encourage you to take ownership of your chapter, participate in events, and engage with your peers. As highlighted earlier, if you're not active, you'll be taken out. So you must make sure you are part of us at all times. Share your ideas, learn from each other, and let us work together to make a positive impact in our industry and community. And to the new members, I say you are joining a global network that is committed to excellence, innovation, and sustainability. Let us uphold these values, support each other, and strive for greatness. Congratulations on taking this step, and I wish you all the best in your journey with AusIMM UNED. Thank you for your attention, and I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who has made this event possible. To the new members, I look forward to seeing your contributions and achievements in the future. Let us work together to make AusIMM UNED a hub for excellence and innovation. Thank you, and thanks to everybody. We appreciate your day, we appreciate your time, and God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you too, Mr. George Asongo. And thank you very much for giving us the closing remarks. This brings us to the end of today's webinar. And on behalf of the AusIMM Tarkwa Students Chapter, I want to sincerely thank all our speakers, executives, and invited guests. and all the participants who joined this lunch today. Let's continue to stay connected, inspired, and committed to our professional growth. Have a wonderful evening, everyone, and see you in our upcoming workshops. Thank you.
Sorry, before you go, I think we've skipped few steps. The chairman is supposed to give closing remarks. What George did was vote of thanks. So we also have some industry people. The general manager of Adamus is with us. So Kojo, if you are there, can you give us some few remarks before the chairman closes with his closing remark?
Oh, thank you very much. And distinguished faculty, fellow professional members of AusIMM, and the founding members of UENR chapter of AusIMM. Very privileged to be part of this program this evening. I'm Kojo Pokuansa, managing director of Adamus Resources Limited. I'm also a fellow member of AusIMM, and I've been a member for the past 12 years. Now, let me say that coming together to ensure that there's a chapter at UENR is a wonderful milestone that has been achieved today. As George said, you have just joined a global community. I think over 14,000 people or so who are championing progress and dynamism in the resource sector. I would like you to take advantage of this wonderful platform that you have to develop your professional career, because you are just bridging the gap between your academics and your professional career. There are a lot of advantages, and you need to tap into them to ensure that your membership is not just adding to the numbers, but then using it to shape your career going forward. You have opportunity of having mentors. You have opportunities of people guiding you in your career. And once you apply yourself to it, you wonder the progress that you can make because you have joined this professional body. I have people who have had access to me just because they are members of AusIMM. Others have had opportunity to gain practical attachments. In fact, a few others have landed themselves jobs because they were members of AusIMM. Your advantage can come in varied forms, not just pushing for job alone. Remember, you need to develop yourself. You need to get yourself ready for the job market. Just that you need certain directions and guidance that will push you to the springboard, that will help you to land your jobs and then develop yourself in the professional career. Let me take this opportunity to also to commend Henry, George, the rest of the executives, Eric, and everybody who has shown passion over the years to developing the next generation of engineers. Let me wish you well this new chapter. You need to be proactive, don't be dormant. Let us hear of you, and let us see you also touch many lives in this journey. Thank you very much, Henry, for the opportunity to partake in this. And thank you all, students and professional acquaintances. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much, sir. And thank you for joining us this evening. And we'll now hear from our chairman, the closing remarks for our chairperson.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator. I think whilst I've had the privilege to chair this, it has been a unique learning experience for me as well. This is probably the closest I've come to an AusIMM program or event. And I'm highly encouraged by the standards of the deliberation that I've witnessed today. And it appears that is the standard at which the organization works at. It's an international standard. I think you are doing a tremendous job. I hear you talk about workshops that are planned for the future. So all this very important, very encouraging. It all adds to the continuous professional development of your membership. It's good to have heard from Miss Veronica Kwofie on practical learnings, engineering, under the topic engineering roles in the mining value chain. Very practical learnings or lessons that are shared there. Also from Dr. Silas on the health, under the topic, your health is your capital. Very wide-ranging topics and advice that he shared with us. Something that we can all take lessons from or a page from, particularly some of us that are reaching the middle ages of our lives. Thank you so much for that. It's always good to hear from the nuggets of knowledge that Henry has to share, Engineer Henry Entry. And once again, he didn't miss the opportunity to give a global perspective on the industry. Always encouraging, always a learning experience to interact with Henry. Again, I'm very privileged to have been given this opportunity to chair this function. And I thank you all once again and wish you all the best for the week ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. And we are also glad to have you here today. We are glad to all our speakers for sharing such knowledge with us. We've learned a lot. We encourage all members to share what they learned on the chapter's WhatsApp platform. We'll look at that. On this note, Engineer Henry, please, is there anything else you'd want to say?
No, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. On this note, we'll call it a day. Thank you all for participating and making this lunch a successful one. Have a good evening.